How do you know you're on the right path in life, with your goals, with your relationships? It's important to be able to get some confirmation, right? To get some understanding that you're on the right path, that the things that you desire and want are valid. So what I'm going to share with you is some basic things to keep in mind to confirm that you are in fact on the right path. The first thing you want to do is to be on the right path, you have to know exactly what the path is. In other words, you have to know where you're going. You have to have a general idea as to what it is you wish to create, what it is you wish to materialize or manifest. Because if you don't know, then you're simply going to just roam around aimlessly, getting lost in the ideas and the ideals, the desires of other people. In other words, you're going to move through life assuming that whatever you hear that is popular as far as what people want in life, a family, a house, a dog, a good career, all these things that we often hear, which are really programmed into our subconscious mind to, in a sense, believe for ourselves, often send us off to a path where we are the most miserable. And that's because we're not living our most authentic self. And in order for you to truly captivate and live a life that is filled with fulfillment, happiness, and joy, you have to first understand who you are and thus know what you want to create. And so you have to really take away and pull away all of the pieces, all of the excess, all of the bull that you've been programmed to believe, even all the things that your parents, your guardians, your family has told you to believe. You have to let go of all those things and really go deep within yourself to understand what it is that you believe, what truly resonates with who you are. When you truly understand what resonates with who you are, then that is point A, right? That is where you start. And in order to get to a destination, you first have to know where you are in relationship to that destination. So where you are right now is really understanding the true significance, the true essence of you, your consciousness, right? Your spirit, your soul. Once you know that, once you start to dive deeper into that, once you start to examine it, right? Study it, then you will get all of the keys, all of the paths, all of the maps needed to actually get you to the various destinations of your life that focus on different categories of life, right? Relationships, family, children, right? Business, career, location where you want to live in your life, the things you want to explore and experience, the relationships you wish to have, if you wish to get married or not. All these different things become clear to you once you go deep within yourself at the current moment. And yes, those things can change over time, but ultimately, over time is not really a thing that exists. What truly exists is in the current moment. What is it that you want right now? And when you dive deeper into who you are right now, then you get to clarity as to what it is that you want right now. And so getting into that is very important to understanding your purpose and understanding how exactly to know you're on the right path. Because as long as you are assuming or taking the programs that other people has given to you, then most certainly you are not on the right path. So to first know that you're on the right path, be willing to let go of all those programs and be willing to go within yourself to truly understand your authentic self, your true self, for you to actually begin the journey. So the confirmation truly starts with the beginnings of you tapping into who you really are. But along the journey of making moves toward creating the things that you want in life, essentially allowing you to reaffirm who you are, right? Because as you create those things, as you materialize those things, then they will basically give you the information, the insight to really see who you are. Because materializing certain things are ultimately reflections, and they show us who we really are. So when you materialize that dream car, when you materialize that quote unquote dream relationship or that dream person, when you actually achieve that, when you actually attract those things, at that very moment, it shows you a reflection of yourself, and you get to really see if those things are in fact what you really want, right? And it isn't a time for you to feel bad, to feel shame, to feel guilt. It is a time and an opportunity for you to learn. It is a time and an opportunity for you to look at yourself through the reflection of the things you have materialized in order for you to see, okay, this is not who I thought I was. Okay. And it is about continuing to evolve and expand. So don't think of it as, okay, I materialized this thing that I worked so hard to reprogram within myself to be mindful about my speech, my thinking, my emotions, and I materialize this thing for it to just be something that I really don't want at the end, right? Well, that isn't the end. That is the whole point. When you materialize something, it is either evidence that you are on the right path, or it is a lesson for you to change, to reconfigure, to readjust, so that way you can then reposition yourself to be on the right path. So understand that the process is always ongoing. The process is always about self-realization. But as you are going along the path, which is the best part, because then it allows you to connect with various aspects of who you are, especially your higher mind, or you can say grand consciousness, or some would even say God, that aspect of intellect that is beyond the conscious mind, that is beyond the subconscious mind. Some even call it the superconscious mind. It is even beyond that. When you are on the path of self-realization, on the path of discovering who you really are, you have to learn to listen, because those aspects of who you are communicate to you in different ways. And as you are along the path, you have to recognize how and when these different aspects or these layers of you are communicating. Many ways that people identify communication from higher intelligence or your higher mind is by numbers. Some would even say that numbers are the key to truly unlocking the universe. And one of the most popular ways people identify that they may be on the right path or they need to pay attention is what's called angel numbers, right? Or, numbers that come in certain patterns, like 1111 or 123 or 369, whatever numbers that you see constantly when you just happen to look at a clock or look at a microwave, or whatever it is. When you start to notice patterns and numbers that start to come up for you often, that could be a sign that the universe, really your higher self, is communicating to you, right? Your conscious self, or even your ego self, to pay attention. And so just like your conscious mind is communicating with your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is communicating with your conscious mind, the same thing happens with your higher mind, right? With the grand consciousness, right? Or you can say God, or the infinite source of intelligence. That is also communicating to you in various ways. You just have to figure out and basically understand the code, right? By which your super mind, your super conscious mind, or your infinite mind, your superior mind is communicating to you. Recognize synchronicities. Recognize what's often called coincidences. There is no such thing, right? That is just a word to deflect the patterns or the reality or the understanding that you are bigger than what you think you are. You see, so when we acknowledge certain patterns and we see things that are quote unquote coincidences, they are in fact your higher self, the universe, communicating to you. And oftentimes when those coincidences align with what it is that you are creating, then there are a signal for you to keep moving forward. Sometimes the signs can be trying to distract you or point you to another direction. Now, here's the trick. You have to understand that it's all about options, right? It's all about making decisions. And it's really about self-awareness on top of that. So when you are faced with some kind of coincidence, you have to ask yourself, is this in alignment with what I wish to create, what I've decided to create, or is this telling me to go in a different direction? And that means you have to make a decision. Now, recognize that any decision that you make is always going to serve you as long as you have faith in who you are as the creator of your universe and that which everything is here to support you in whatever self-realization or journey that you are on. When you recognize that, then there is no right or wrong decision. In fact, every decision is right, as long as you are clear and as long as you are intentional about what it is that you have decided to create. So you have to then come to a space where you make a decision and recognize that whatever decision you make, worrying about the opposite should not be something you lean into, because you will never know the outcome of the opposite, the thing you did not choose. So just focus on what it is that you are choosing, what you have chosen, the direction you have chosen to take, and just continue to be intentional about your movements. Continue to be intentional about what it is that you have decided to create, because understand the universe is infinite. You are infinite. So as you go through life, recognize there are infinite ways for you to create the thing by which you have decided to create. You just have to trust in that and keep moving forward. And so when it comes to recognizing the signs that you're on the right path, it comes down to just acknowledging and owning your power as the creator of your universe and being clear as to your intention and continue to move forward with that intention. The universe, your higher mind, your higher self will simply send you the signals and signs that you are on the right path, because guess what? You are always on the right path. Now, that isn't to say that, sometimes you need to deviate, right? Or you need to take a different approach, but you have to trust in your own intuition and you have to trust in your gut. And when you trust in that, then you just simply move in a different way. You move from a place of constantly being empowered, constantly understanding that whatever direction you go in is always the right direction, but you have to move in that direction. And that is key. Thank you so much for listening. Feel free to visit drabundant.com, download my free ebook, The Power Within, and also subscribe to my daily newsletter. Continue to join me on this journey. Peace and abundance always.